After 35 years of airing on Fox, The Simpsons has finally come to an end. Okay, not really, but that is the way that they were portraying the premiere of the latest season that aired on Sunday. And that's got me asking the question, how can The Simpsons end after its long, some may say overlong run? So I'm going to talk about what I think this parody of a finale did well, what other episodes have done well, and where I think the show can go when it eventually does end. Let's do this. So, to begin this discussion, I think we gotta start with the recent episode. Spoilers, obviously. The season 35 premiere, Bart's Birthday, is presented as a huge, lavish Hollywood spectacular, hosted by Conan O'Brien and featuring an audience full of callbacks to past Simpsons celebrity guests that I'm sure someone has made an Easter egg video on. This framing device is a lot of fun. I've seen it compared to the Simpsons spin-off showcase or the 138th Spectacular, a sentiment I agree with, especially the clip show episode, because this faux special makes a bunch of alternate endings to classic episodes, recreating the old animation style right down to the aspect ratio. It's a lot of fun. After all that, we get the fake final episode. Bart is having his 11th birthday, and all throughout we are getting characters whose stories are coming to an end, or they're getting their own spin-offs, full of overly sentimental last moments where they flip off the lights and walk away for the last time. Now, all this stuff is obviously over the top, as it is a parody, but it also brings up a valid point. In a show that, at this point, has so many beloved side characters, how can you wrap all of that up in a finale? I'm going to talk about that point in a bit, but before that, I want to bring up the thing that the episode does really well, that I think would be an excellent element to add to an actual finale. Bart's Birthday, it isn't just the title of the episode or a small element to it, but what I think should be at the core of a Simpsons finale. The show has, across the 35 years on air, kept the status quo of characters' ages. Sure, we'll get flash forwards, and the sliding timeline keeps the characters in the present, but Bart is always 10, Lisa is always 8, and they are always in the 4th and 2nd grade respectively. Except for the time they were both in the 3rd grade. But at the core of Bart's Birthday, literally a change to the status quo the show has lived in for decades, is the exact kind of thing that I think would make for a great finale to the show. Now, in talking about The Simpsons ending, we need to talk about another episode, Holidays of Future Past. That episode, that aired all the way back in 2011 during the 23rd season, was originally written as a potential series finale, which at this point is almost like a midway for the series. The episode flashes forward 30 years and shows where the family is down the road. It does exactly what a finale should do, in that it is a well-written emotional piece for the characters. Specifically, I think about the treehouse scene between Bart and Lisa, but it is also making sure to be an extremely funny episode. It doesn't really touch much on the side characters, instead focusing just on the family, and by jumping forward, they don't have to worry about loose ends needing to be tied up in present-day stories. Honestly, if this episode didn't already exist, it could absolutely work as an ending for the show. Again, assuming you don't want to tie up loose ends. But what if you do want to tie up loose ends, or at least give proper farewells to your larger ensemble? Not everyone, of course, but to some of them. How do you do that without it being a jumbled mess like Bart's Birthday does for comedic effect? Personally, I would do a whole season dedicated to that. Let me explain. The Simpsons has, with the exception of a few two-parters, always been about standalone episodes. I would make the season premiere be the first day of summer vacation, setting up how we should be expecting change, knowing that by the end, the kids will be in new grades, different from what the show has always kept them in. Again, except that one episode. The season would essentially be the summer that changes the kids' lives forever. Individual episodes can be nice little send-offs to characters, while others could have mini arcs that play over a few B or C plots, and giving the Simpsons kids little growth arcs as they go as well. For Lisa, I would have her be stressing over the new school year coming for her. It could start off small, with her being excited, getting into some advanced classes or some special extracurriculars, but that would quickly change. But as she starts to prepare herself, she realizes in these classes she will no longer be the big fish in a small pond. You know, like the third grade episode. I didn't just keep referencing that for nothing. As for Bart, I'd actually steal from the Bart's Birthday episode and have him find out that Milhouse is moving away at the end of the summer and they have to make the most of what little time they still have together. Yeah, both of those episodes are ones the show has done before. You could say The Simpsons did it, but after 35 years, they have, of course, gone to the same stories and themes before, and I think approaching them in a long-form, serialized way would allow for some new angles to approach these stories from. All of this would lead up to the night before the new school year. Bart's sad he's no longer got his best friend with him, Lisa scared of her future, finding each other in the treehouse, just like in Holidays of Future Past. They can comfort each other in their own ways and realize that they have each other. So, even in an unknown future, they will be okay. Anyways, that's what I would do, at least in grand brushstrokes. I didn't even talk about Homer and Marge, who obviously have to have their own stories as well. Maybe couples therapy, I don't know. I haven't put that much thought into it, but obviously they need to have their stories be intertwined. This is just a pitch of what I think could be a strong finale for the show. Or at least a strong way to approach the finale. Simpsons writers, if you're watching this, I can be hired. But that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, have a good one.